So what's up, YouTube? I'm Eb. I'm back again with another reaction video. If you are new to this channel, please go check out my other reactions and other videos, challenges, and all other videos. Just go check them out. But without further ado, we're about to get into it. Oh yeah, before I get started, if you do not want to watch my reaction on this video, the link of this video will be in the description down below. Without further ado, we're going to watch Divorce Court, Moore versus Moore. Let's get into it.
Today on Divorce Court.
I just want the judge to show Robert that down-talking me and downplaying me is not the way to treat his wife.
Well, my biggest issue with Nyla is that she's a very jealous woman. The lifestyle that she likes to live is okay for her, but when I want to be part of it, it's not good anymore. So I want to change that.
So right now, I just really feel like the relationship is over. There's no working it out. There's no getting back together.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Niall Morris and Robert Morris, Mr. and Mrs. Morris. You have been married for 3 years, although you've been together for 12. You have 2 children together, and you also have children. You have children from other relationships. You do not want to be married anymore. Mrs. Morris, you want a certain sum of money from Mr. Morris, and we will discuss that momentarily. However, before we do, I want to talk to you, Mrs. Morris. You say from the very beginning of your relationship, you two had trust issues. Why don't you explain that to me?
Okay, well, we met 17 years ago at a pager place. That's how long ago it's been. And from the beginning, he was a very strange character.
Hang on. How so?
Well, the fact that when I first talked to him, he was very arrogant, very just unnecessary. Just the words that he would say, the things that he would say to me was just, you don't know me, so why would you be saying these certain type of things?
What kind of things was he saying?
It was just like, oh, you know, I'm this, I'm that, you know, you won't ever find anyone like me.
Can I run a rebuttal, please?
Wait a minute, hold
Not
on.
while she's talking.
All right.
Thank you. So I told him the very first conversation, lose my number. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Okay. 2 weeks later, he called me again. He apologized, and he started talking normal. He asked me out for lunch. I went on a date with him. And after that, it was completely sexual. Like that's all that we really did in our relationship of knowing each other. That's how we kept the relationship for the first 5 years. Okay, it's just sex. I brought friends in. I brought, you know, I'm bisexual.
Brought friends in?
Yeah, I'm bisexual, so I brought my friends in and let him have at it. Okay, and
Why
that's
would
how
you
we
let
kept
him
that
have
scenario.
sex if you were
Now,
trying to be
Mrs.
in a
Morris,
relationship?
do you want to tell a
Let's
different
give him a
story?
hall
It's a
pass.
whole different story.
Go ahead and lie.
When I first met her at a page, I just got a divorce from my other wife.
Right.
And she was with her mom. So I was trying to figure out who would I want to talk to, her or mom, or both of them. So I kind of picked her because I said maybe, you know, in a couple of years she might be okay. So I
What do you
ended up
mean she might be
talking
okay?
to her. I called her on the phone. She was telling me about, oh, I'm bisexual and, you know, this and that.
That was not the first
And
thing I told
Mrs.
you.
Morris, would you like to be
And-
seated?
No.
And so then I was like, oh, that's cool because that's what I like.
Right.
I like a woman that has no, you know,
Right. Yeah, I
that's
get it.
fine.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fine. So she was running her mouth about all that. So then I said, okay, well, maybe we can get together and hang out sometime. She's on the phone. Oh, no, don't you ever call me back again. I said, you just told me that you like other females. So what's the problem? I counted 14 days before I called her back just to see what kind of female she was. I called her back.
What do you
Took her
mean
go
to
get
see
some
what kind of
breakfast. I had a
female
cup
she
of
was?
tea,
I'm not understanding what he's
Had a little
saying.
sex talk with her, took her to the hotel, did what I wanted to do to her, and after that, I couldn't get rid of her. She,
okay.
she
Oh,
been
you didn't
sta-
want to get rid of her.
Oh, I
don't
did.
you?
No, you did not.
Yeah, I did.
Why did you want to get rid of her?
Because it just wasn't.
A gorgeous woman with a totally sexual relationship who also enjoyed bringing her girlfriends with
That
her.
didn't happen at first, though. It took years before she did it because she was scared that I'd end up leaving her for the female. That's the ones, the
weren't
tacky
together,
ones
though.
she brought. But it was a while before I even had a relationship with her
This
with
girl
another
with the
female, 'cause
glasses
she was
in the
scared to do it,
background.
even to this day.
But now, Ms. Morris, you say once you did
Oh,
start
sad.
having threesomes,
It wasn't
he vi-
Your Honor.
Mr. Morris, I am talking. Mrs. Morris, once you did start having threesomes, he violated the threesome
Can she
rules.
see? I mean,
Tell
she's
me
looking
what
at the
the
judge
rules
like she
are and
can't
how
see
he
her.
violated them.
Okay, well, for us and how I would be comfortable was me dating the females. I'm
She
talking
kinda
to
looks
them.
like a lizard.
I'm bringing them
No
into our
offense.
scenario, not him.
I mean, maybe it's this ponytail she got
couldn't do
going.
that. Okay,
but I don't
with
know.
him, he wanted to go behind my back when we would argue or when we would have spouts about different things and try to seduce them to come over with him only. Okay. Oh, well, let me go ahead and take you out, or sending them pictures of him, or talking to them like they were, like he was me.
Yeah.
He would.
Well, you were concerned that these women would become romantically attached to
Right.
him, and you would be out in the cold.
So why would you bring
I'm
the
not gonna
women
be
to
out
him?
cold. I was concerned.
That's on
because
you.
of-
That was
I
your
knew his
fault.
character already. I already knew from his past situations and his past relationships that he was a big cheater and a big liar.
Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Morris.
So why would you pursue
How in the
the
world did
relationship?
this sex rodeo become a marriage?
Right.
To me,
That's what I'm trying to
you
figure
guys
out
were
right
just
now.
having
That's
a
what.
ball, and it was wonderful.
It
and
wasn't really a
Y'all should have
ball,
just
Your
kept
Honor.
it strictly sex.
You know, like I said, I just got a divorce. I was just kind of chilling out, and I was 33, she was 23. So you know, just trying to have a little fun. She turned out to be okay at the time, you know. But we didn't have we never, since this day, never had a threesome. All I did was try to please her and the girl, and if I do that, she kicking me in my head while I'm on the bed to make me get out the room because she didn't want me to touch the girl. And then she'll get up, run to the kitchen.
Where did you get that
cussing.
story from? What did that conjure it up in your head? You a big liar.
But
So anyway, Your Honor,
how did you end up marrying her? Though?
Because she got-
you
she
seem you
got
weren't
pregnant.
very interested. You weren't very happy. Next thing you
Oh
know,
my
she's your
God,
wife.
this-
well, she
episode
got
is
pregnant, Your
so
Honor, after a couple
hilarious.
of years, okay, of going back and forth. And what changed my whole attitude with her is when she told me she was pregnant, I tricked her into finding out what type of female she was because she was just promiscuous. So I said, well, won't you tell the other guy that that's his baby? I just came out and just told her that.
What other guy?
So just to see
I
what
got
kind
you.
of female she was.
I got you.
And so then she said, well, I've already told him already myself, Your Honor. I told him too. So at that point, I said, you know what? I'm cool. I'm done with you. If I'm supposed to be just messing with you, you crying about, oh, you don't want me messing with other females. That's her whole thing the whole time.
And she was messing with another dude.
Yeah,
messing
and
with
she
other
come up
females,
pregnant.
too.
But we wasn't in a relationship like that though. But
Did you find out it was your baby?
yeah, I waited 9 months because I told her I don't want to be bothered around. I don't want to see her until after the kid was born, so I can go, let's see if that's my son.
And was it?
Yeah, I went over there. I looked. I was like, when I went over to her house, I said, that's my son. At that point, from that day, I've been with her.
You did it based on looks? You
I knew
didn't
it was
have
my
to worry
son.
about the DNA, nothing like
once I
that.
got there, I knew that was my
Maybe it's too much.
Why procreate with an individual you can't stand, can't trust,
So it just-
don't
sometimes
understand?
That's life, Your Honor. It happens. Sometimes it
No,
just
it's
happens
not
like
life.
that.
That's
You
not
have a choice
true.
of whether
It
you
doesn't
want to
just
deal with that
happen.
person.
does
It
happen.
doesn't just happen.
When it does,
Tell him,
I'm just
Judge.
like, Your Honor.
Tell him. Put him in his place. Oh, it's life. It just happens. No, you have a choice of who you keep in your circle and who you keep out your circle.
Now, Mr. Morris, you say you believe that Mrs. Morris has deep-rooted issues with men. Can you explain to me why you believe that?
Well, I'm not going into too much detail, but I know a lot of young females have a lot of issues with a lot of men in their life as little children. And so she had some issues, things like that. I don't want to say
wasn't
no
cool.
more.
That
That wasn't
wasn't
cool.
cool.
Probably-
so
it
at
was
that
probably
point,
the
she's already
daddy
built up a
wasn't never
wall
there,
to
something
kind
like
of
that.
despise against guys. So that's why she was trying to connect.
what's
trying
considered
to
to
act
be
like
the
she was
norm now.
bisexual.
So you
when
don't believe she was
so-
bisexual?
Not at that point, not really. She just plays bisexual on an emotional role because, another females can connect with each other in
sounds
certain
silly.
ways.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
that's true.
it sounds a little odd, but we'll move on from that. Ms. Morris, you say that at some point during your marriage, he got you into terrible debt. Tell me about that.
Well, he's terrible with money. I mean, he is always in some type of debt with some organization for some odd reason.
Some
And-
organization?
Yeah, all organizations.
Organization.
All organization. All business. Anytime he has to,
Oh my
anytime
God.
it has anything to do with money and him paying, whether
Man,
it be
can
a
she
gas
see?
bill,
This is
whether
really
it be a car
bothering
note,
me.
whether it be any kind of bill, he will not pay. He will nickel and dime
Keep
them to
squinting.
death.
Like, get you
Okay?
some
$20
glasses, some
here, $20
contacts, or
there.
something.
Put something on it, but he won't pay the whole
Exactly.
You know
bill.
why
Exactly.
she's saying
I'm
that?
Hang on,
talking.
hang
Thank
on.
you. So in our relationship, he needed a rental card to go to work. He didn't have a credit card. I said to him, look, I already knew how he was with bills. If I put this on my card, you have to promise to pay the car note. I mean,
Right.
the rental car. So we went to the rental car, got the car for him. Everything was fine for the first month. Second month came around, $968 worth of rental car expenses. He don't want to pay now. He wants to put that money into another car to get back and forth to work. He wants to go to the car dealership and get him a car. So what does he do? On my credit card, on my debt, in my name, he takes the rental car back to the rental car location, drops it off, and skirts out. Did not pay the bill. Okay? With that $968, he takes to Nissan and gets him a new car. Okay? A little car, no big deal. It was $239 a month to pay, and he couldn't pay that. 4 months he went with this car, this Nissan, without paying one car note. Okay?
Did you do any of that?
Did you do that?
She's trying to pump herself up right now.
Okay, I have evidence.
And I will take
I
that.
have
But
evidence to show that I have $75,000.
You know when they do that,
since
toot,
2013,
it's something
and she
serious.
haven't paid
Like-
anything. So she's sitting
Pay
there running
anything
her
on
mouth
what?
about something.
Pay anything on what?
And the rental car was for her. I have two
I
cars,
have a
Your Honor.
car.
Hang on.
She just wanted a little car to drive
Ooh,
around
Lord
in,
have mercy.
in town.
Will strike
And
you
he
dead.
don't even
You're a
have all
liar.
his
None
of his
to
documents are in a folder. It's in his pocket.
With a little
Mrs.
Nissan?
Morse, let me ask you this, because I asked him, how did you end up marrying her?
How do you keep
did you end up
important
going
information
from that sexual
in your
rodeo
pocket?
to marrying him?
It can't be
You
that
know what?
important.
I'm
then.
really clueless myself. I think I had got dropped on the head or something as a child to even deal with him as long as I did. The main reason why I went on and married him was for my children. I didn't have parents coming up when I was growing up. My grandmother took care of me. I wanted to show my children something different. I wanted to really try with him and try to make things work so they could have a family environment and show them that, you know, black people can get along and we can
But y'all
raise children and be a unit. That didn't work. That didn't work with him at all.
Your Honor, that's
He-
not what
he
happened.
drove
I
me-
asked her to marry me because I've had issues with her. She flip-flopped from she wants to be with a female, and then I get pictures of her with old men grabbing her on her butt, dancing with her and stuff.
You're a
So
lie. Where
I'm
the
like,
pictures
I
at?
don't.
But I don't understand
Just
how
because
any
he
of
don't have
that would
pictures
lead
doesn't
to
mean it
marriage. I
happened.
just don't get
But
it.
what I'm
I
saying,
don't
this is what I had an
understand.
issue with her, and so then I said I have 2 kids with her. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? Maybe she might mature and try to get her head together.
Why?
So-
I guess this is a stupid question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Why procreate with an individual you can't
You cannot
stand, can't
stand.
trust,
So it
don't
just, sometimes
understand?
That's life, Your Honor. Sometimes it just
it's not
happens like that.
That's not true. It
It
doesn't just
does.
happen.
It does happen.
It doesn't just happen.
Well, it does. I mean, it's life, Your Honor.
And then he's trying to argue with the
People
judge.
all over the world
doesn't-
manage to control their fertility. They manage to use birth control. They manage to use some kind of discretion
We were
in what they
we were
do.
in a committed relationship, so it didn't. So all that it doesn't.
Committed
count with that.
relationship or no, contraception works. Use it.
Thank you. Don't bring no more kids in this world.
Car that I do have, the X one, it's a show car, and I'm not going to be driving it all the time on the street, so she knows that. It's a lowrider.
Right, that's
And
why
I'm
the
not-
rental was for you. Because you have
I
a
have
lowrider
your car
and
that
you
I
had
bought
to-
for you that I drive. so
Okay,
it makes,
I
so
had
she
to get where I needed to go.
You ain't going nowhere. You sit your ass at home on
Oh,
TV.
my-
I mean,
okay, I
on
have-
Instagram all
okay,
day.
Hey,
have
hey, hey,
children.
we're done. Was Niall and Robert's relationship doomed from its sex-based
Yes,
start?
it's doomed.
Tell us what you think at facebook.com/divorce
From the
court.
start.
Divorce Court will be right back.
I'm surprised they survived this long.
If you would
17
like
years
your
is a long
case to be
time to
heard
be
on
with somebody
Divorce
you
Court,
cannot
call
stand.
us toll free at
They should've just strictly kept it
1-877-311-2222
sexual.
or log on to our website
That's
at
it.
divorcecourt.com.
No strange
Follow us
attacks.
on Facebook,
Then they
Twitter,
wouldn't even
and
be in this
Instagram.
situation. Wouldn't
at
have
Divorce
kids, nothing. Wouldn't even have to deal with each other.
I take it this marriage is at an end for a variety of reasons. I don't think it ever should have begun in the first place, but
Right.
let be that as it may. But I do understand that you believe that Mr. Morris hooked up with one of your friends,
Try to.
tried to, and that you have evidence thereof.
I do.
Could you show that to me, please?
That's up.
Oh, you gave me everything.
I gave you
Okay.
everything.
Now, while I'm reading this, you tell me your version of this story. Do you know what we're talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Tell me about it.
The day before Father's Day, she had never been working in a couple of years. So she tells me that she wants to
She
go
ain't
on the
never been
weekends and go
working a
do some
couple
naughty
years.
girl party.
Are
And I'm
you
like,
listening
okay,
to
you wanna do
yourself?
stuff like that, you're supposed to be married, so you go ahead. So
You
she
don't even
goes
know how
out
to
to this
talk.
party, And I wake up in the middle of the night to look at Instagram, and men up there dancing on her, and she just shaking her butt like it's okay. She didn't know she was being filmed. I asked her about it, and she said, yeah, that was me, but it's not a big deal. So that's how she was raised to think that's not a big deal. But by me not, honestly, the time that, since 2013, I haven't messed with nobody since I've been with her.
You're lying.
But I just been letting her hang herself because I knew what kind of female she was, and it was
Why
easier
not
for
break
me to
up with
exit.
her? Why you gotta
So
let
what
somebody
I
hang
did is,
themselves? Why not break
I asked
up
her
with
about
them?
it. She said it was no big deal. I
If
said,
you
okay,
have
it's no
all
big deal.
this
It's a big deal to
exclusive
me.
information
So,
on this person.
At that point, I was done after Father's Day when I seen that on that
It should've been
Instagram stuff.
done
And she acted like it
long
wasn't a big deal. So I let
before.
her do what she do. And what she doing now, just running her mouth, trying to make her
Not
project
writing a
herself to
story.
be somebody that she's not. That's it.
You sound crazy.
Listen, both of you sound out there. I'm gonna tell you something.
He a little more crazy
No,
than me.
no. Both of you do. I'm reading these texts. You know, I'm an English major. I get it that you do shortcuts or whatever, but whoo!
I did
Read
it to
a
make her
book.
mad, Your Honor, because
Something.
after
I mean,
she
you
did,
know, they don't even make sense.
She
They're
told
just crazy.
this dude
Read a
to
book.
read a book.
that's my whole purpose
Thank
of
you.
doing that.
He doesn't
To make her mad, so
understand that.
so it'd make it easier for me to split my
What,
relationship
to make
with her.
have really bad grammar was your point?
I didn't care about the grammar. Grammar didn't have nothing
That's
to do
what
with
I'm
it.
talking about.
But when you're texting somebody about sex and stuff, you don't care about no grammar. You just want to talk about what you want to talk about. Who cares about grammar? When you talk about sex,
Not in that aspect, but you should care about grammar.
Gonna be with and splitting verbs. I mean, even if you're doing something short,
Making words, trying to put words that don't go
right
together
way.
together.
I'm not like her sitting on Instagram trying
You are
to.
on social media
Oh, now
more than I
listen.
am.
You two are both people I wouldn't want living in my neighborhood. So don't keep
Right.
pointing fingers at one another. This is a hot mess. It was a hot mess in the beginning. It's a hot mess right now.
Thank you.
And I want to cool off. So we're going
He
to talk
said
about
thank
this
you.
money right quick. I heard the story you told about the rental. You're telling me the car was rented for her, correct?
She rented a car to drive around in town with, because I already had 2 cars, but I don't have a problem
oh
with
my
paying her.
God, I
don't have a
Why-
problem with that.
Why, if you have 2 cars, why can't your wife
Because-
drive one?
The car that I do have, the X one, it's a show car, and I'm not going to be driving it all the time on the street, so she knows that. It's a lowrider.
Right, that's
and
why
I'm
the
not,
rental was for you. Because you have
I
a
have
lowrider
your car
and
that
you
I
had
bought
to-
for you that I drive. so
Okay,
it makes,
I
so
had
she,
to get where I needed to go.
You ain't going nowhere. You sit your ass at home on
Oh,
TV.
my-
I mean,
okay,
on
I have-
Instagram all
okay,
day.
we
Hey, we're done.
He
We're
said
done.
You sit your A on the TV.
What was the
Dude
biggest
don't even
problem
have his
in
words
Niall and
together,
Robert's
man. I'm so
marriage?
done.
Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. Mr. Morris, did you have some paperwork that you wanted me to see bearing on this, that bears on this issue now?
Yeah, Your Honor. Well, 2 things. I have the bills and I have
And they folded
utility
up.
bills
I
that
wouldn't.
she was supposed to be paying.
What's his name,
but
Joe?
she's
I wouldn't even
calling
take
about
that.
it. And there you go, Your Honor.
You didn't have the common decency
And that's-
to have
This
all
is
your
money that
paperwork
I've been helping her live
in
off
a
for the last
folder.
3 years.
to make it look
What do you
like
mean
something. I
helping
mean,
her
this
live off for
did
the last year?
had it
So
in his
married?
pocket.
She, yeah, Your Honor,
I
but she
have
don't.
worked.
She sit home all
I
day on
have worked.
Instagram. I work
You have
14
been
hours.
only
I get
working
home.
there for 1 year.
Be quiet. Shut up. So I get home, Your Honor. I get home
Disrespect.
for 14 hours, and this is what I hear all
Be
day.
quiet,
I mean,
shut
you get
up.
tired of it.
Oh no.
What do you hear all day?
And you know, she has no goals. She has
Oh,
no.
my good-
She don't have no aspirations for what she want to do. I want to own property.
Mr. Morris and Mrs. Morris, none of this proves anything to me other than both of you are a hot mess. Let me tell you
Yep.
this. Next time you make a decision to procreate with somebody, you got to vet them first. You got to know who they are. You got to know what they think. You got to know who their family is. You got to know where they're going in life. You have to be with them for a while. You don't have children and then say, well, I'm going to marry him because I got kids with him and I want the kids to be okay. You've got to understand what
They
a
can be
marriage
okay
is, what a responsibility
with or
is.
without
Then you marry
the
the
other
person, you
half.
watch them for 3 years, make sure they're the person you think they
Oh, I
are.
want my
Then you
kids.
procreate with them. Then you don't
Bye.
get all of this nonsense.
right.
And you can tell me anything that you want to.
That's just
I'm
an
a
excuse
grown
to stay
woman.
with somebody.
I'm 57 years old.
my
Things
opinion.
don't just happen. Kids happen because people have sex unprotected. Period. End of story. I am
Period.
done.
Point blank.
There will be no recovery in this matter. This court is adjourned.
Thank you, Judge. That's why I love her. She keep it real.
From this point, me and Robert are going to have some type of communication because we do have children. So I'm going to try to keep it as cordial as I can.
I don't know if she think that
and
looks
I don't know
sexy
how
or
that's
she
gonna
just
work,
can't see.
But I'm going to give it my best effort.
Well,
Honestly,
she
don't
on the show
know.
talking about she don't want to be with me and all that. She just put
With
on
the
the
squinting
show.
of the eyes.
After this show, she gonna be calling me, trying to meet up with me. So it's all good.
Ooh, Lord. Well, that was the end of that episode. That episode was just a hot mess. They should have just kept it sexual. Nothing more, nothing less. But that's the end of that video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys for the next reaction or the next challenge, whichever one. And that's it. And remember, make your dreams your reality.